Hello. One issue that Aspies have is communication. We do not know how to handle or interpret subtlety. We understand extremes. Laughter, crying, everything in between escapes our notice. This leads to a lot of problems with us interacting with people, obviously. Um, the scenario I seen that best described it was a photograph. It was staged. It was two people pretending to be in a lunchroom at a job. And it was a boss and an employee. The boss says something to the employee doesn't quite get it, and he thinks the boss is thinking something negative against him, and so he kind of is attacking him, so he kind of lashes back with a bad response. The boss takes offense at that, and then he does come back with a bad response of his own. That justifies the suspicions of the Aspie, because now he thinks, well, I have my evidence that this person is attacking me. This is a horrible cycle that a lot of us get into. Now, not everybody jumps to anger. Some are just self-conscious or depressed or sad by the responses. In other words, that's their reaction. They may close up. They may get very sad or depressed or whatever. They may not necessarily be angry. I have learned over time that I cannot always assume that somebody is in a state of war with me or is angry or negative. It takes a lot of work for me. It's all uphill. If I'm under stress, I can't maintain too well, and I slip back into the old pattern. For a lot of you who have known me, worked with me, grew up with me, and thought, what is his problem? I didn't even say anything to him, and he's blowing his lid, or he's closed up, he's quiet. This is what's happening. It becomes a gray area. I don't understand what's going on. I go straight into fight or flight. It's like drowning. It's like somebody's holding your head down underwater. The stress gets to be too much, and then something like this happens where I don't understand or interpret somebody correctly, and then my reactions are either passive but in a negative fashion or active in a negative fashion. This is an issue that autistic people have to put up with, and unfortunately normal people have to put up with us when we act like this. I have certain emotional problems that are a little more severe than most autistics. Most autistics have sensory problems that are worse than mine, but my reactionary format is worse than a lot of them. I've had anger issues over the years since I was a kid, and that's been the worst part. I think I could have handled the autism a lot better if the anger issue didn't pop up. I used to just be weird and awkward and nerdy, and then by the time I got to high school, that started getting under my skin. And it's like I'm in high school now. I'm a few years away from driving a car, looking at having to get a job or whatever, and it's like I'm this close to being an adult, and I still got people treating me like I don't know what's going on, or I'm an idiot or whatever. At least that's what I think. Really, they're just stepping back going, well, he's weird and different. He's always been weird and different, and that's how he is. Just go with the flow. And you add that in with all the other issues with being a young guy, it just kind of works against you some. There ain't much else I can say about it, but the whole communication thing is probably the worst part of the Aspie experience, and it is the worst part of the neuronormal experience, those people who are not autistic who have to deal with us. That's the eggshell experience, stepping on the eggshells. So I do thank you folks for watching this stuff, for joining the group, looking at the channel. Please subscribe. I don't know, it's just it's a strange thing dealing with the autism sphere, the spectrum, and it is definitely a frontier for anybody that is autistic. It is definitely a frontier. So I thank you, and y'all have a good one.